All right, let's see. Here we have a little bit of welding. Simple job here for today. I figured I'd just try to make a video of. I do a fair amount of welding for other shops who don't necessarily, do their own welding. They send it here, and they'll do the machining and the fabricating, and then they'll send the pieces here, and I'll assemble them, with the welding. So here's a very simple job. This is essentially, let me try to zoom in a little on this. This is the print, obviously, and it's just going to be, a very simple weld. They're kind of specific in that here they have a little note saying where they don't want any weld. But if you look, here is going to actually be our welds right about here. So zoom out here. Zoom out. So essentially, all this is going to be is two pieces welded together, and of course the print shows views. This view here is the top view, and then if we come from there to here, this is showing us a side view, and then this, if you come over to the right, is showing us essentially a bottom view. In other words, that's showing us this piece standing up, on the flat position. So essentially the way these prints work is if you look at it, it kind of unfolds. They're showing us, as I said, they're showing us a top view here, and then it's going to come this way to show us in this view, into our side view. And then, like I say, if you follow these prints, they unfold. And then, so from this top view we start, and then we're going to come to the side view. So we'll be looking at the piece this way. And then if we come over to this last one, this is going to go this way. And we'll see essentially this. And that would essentially be, or like I said, I'm going to call it a bottom view, or an end, back view, for lack of a better term. That tape is just to block out the name of the company. It's that's actually none of my business, not my customer, so I don't want to I feel obliged not to share it with anyone else. So essentially, it does have to be at a right angle. So what I'm going to do is, I have somewhere here a piece of precision angle that I'm going to clamp it to with my clamps, just to make sure it's held at a right angle, and I'll show you that, and I'll actually clamp it and set it up, and then I'll weld it together. Let me cut away, and 'cause I need to have both hands to do this, so I'll try to get this set up on a tripod and come back. Okay, well, the whole tripod thing for the moment isn't working out. I have it, as I was explaining, I have this piece, because this has to be at a right angle, I have this piece of ground angle. It was ground for a job, and you can see it was, it has been ground on four sides actually, except for that part in the center there. And it's just a cutoff, so I know this really is a correct right angle. So this is how the piece will be put together. And again, let me go over here, and again, this is our top view here, this view here. So again, what we would do is we would take this, and to look at it this way, here we go. This is how it'll look in that view. That view is going to be looking at it this way. And we know that this piece, the piece it's showing us, is over going over this piece, or this piece in this view, because if you see here, this is showing us a dotted or a dashed line, which means that it's blind. In other words, you can't see the piece that's below it. We're seeing this top piece in full view. You see the top piece, but you wouldn't really be able to see the piece underneath it. So that would indicate that this piece is on top of this piece. So that's that view. Now, so that's our, like I said, that's our top view. Now this view that we're showing here, this one, this view, is how it would look if you were making believe the clamps weren't there. That's how it would look here. Again, you can clearly see this piece is on top of this piece. And the way we know that is because in here, zoom the wrong way. Gonna have to get more videography skills here, Mike. This, you see this is all solid lines. Solid line here, solid line here, solid line here. These 2 points that they're showing are the actual, are the weld. Well, in fact, they're saying specifically they don't want a weld here. So, so that's going to be that view. Now, and then lastly, open this up here a little bit. All right. Then the piece, as I say, it unfolds. So now from here, what it will do is it will come into this view. Okay? And how do we know it's this view as opposed to this view? Okay, simple. The way we know that we're looking at it this way instead of this way is because if you come over here, again, you have to pay attention to these lines. If you come over here, again, this line, this is a solid line. So you see the piece, you'd see the whole back piece or the piece with the slots in it. If it were looking at it this way, it wouldn't be that line there would not be a solid line. That line there would be a dotted line, because though it's there, you wouldn't be able to see it. You would be looking through this piece, and that top piece would be blind, much the same as it's showing us here. So that's how we know that it's in this view, this this dimension here. Okay, now what I have done is I have cheated this ever so slightly to allow me to put weld, because again, they're being very specific. They're saying they don't want any weld in here. So that only leaves me out here to weld. Although the customer did say when I get it done to put a small tack in the middle of this thing, which is going to be, you know, roughly right in here. So what I did, and now if you look at this print, this is not a fussy print. It's very, it gives you quite a bit of leeway, because every number on here is a fraction. So that tells you right off the bat, it's not, there's no decimals on here. It's not, you know, to thousandths or or anything like that. So that gives me a pretty good leeway. So therefore, rather than trying to butt these two things together, let me twist this way maybe. Okay. All I've done is I've just cheated this back a hair. I cheated the top plate back, so it makes a nice natural little corner that I can lay weld in there. You know, there, you know, right along to there. So that's what I'm going to do. And again, we're only talking, you know, 16th, but it makes it so much nicer to be able to weld. And again, that's not critical, because again, all our dimensions on this print are in fractions, so that'll be fine. So let me, I don't know if I'm going to be able to set this up to actually let you watch me weld it. Not to mention there's 9 million of those on YouTube welding things. So let me let me do this, get this set up, and at least you could probably see something of it. I don't know. All right, so here we are, and again, I've got this. Like I said, this is a precision ground piece of angle here. Then got it clamped up, and this is where we're gonna put our weld, right in here on this joint. I'm just gonna, you know, first I'll start by just tacking it, then I'll weld the seam. Naturally, the customer can, you know, it'll probably be, I'll leave it a little high. Customer can grind it off or sand it down if they'd like. It shouldn't be too bad. It's not like I'm gonna flood this thing with MIG wire or anything like that. I'm just gonna heliarc it. So, and then, like I said, the print specifically says no weld in this corner. That's a little vague. I'm not exactly sure what they mean by that. What I may do is I may try to fold it over a little bit. I'll try to just dab a little weld on here, and then on this side I'll probably try to do the same thing, just dab a little weld on the outside here. And like I said, the customer has kind of requested that I put a little bit of weld right in the middle portion here. I guess the reason they don't want weld in these corners is because of these bolt holes here. I guess they don't want, these are a tapped hole here. I guess they don't want any weld metal dripping in there, or maybe something, whatever it's going to be, maybe the mating part. Who knows? You know, you don't know what's going to become of these things, if something's going to fit up in here and they don't want the hump of the weld getting in the way or whatever. So but that's about it. So we've got this, like I said, I've got this kind of pretty much squared up here, and now, like I said, essentially it's very straightforward, simple thing. Just gonna put the weld pretty much in here, and it's clamped securely to this ground angle, so that should hold it square for us. And that's about it. All right, so again, I don't know as far as you being able to actually show you the actual welding on this. My videography skills leave a whole bunch to be desired. And to the immediate right here, where I'm pointing, is my very old welder with even older torch cooler for my torch. And it sounds literally like you're standing on the tarmac. It's an old Lindy Union Carbide unit, so I don't know about what kind of results we're going to have, and I'm sure my arms and everything are going to be in the way here. So I'll do what I can to try and include that. We'll see how it goes. All right, so let me get on with that. But like I say, just the sound alone, forget my lack of videoing competence here. Just the sound alone from this cooler is gonna really mess this up. In fact, I'll show you. Let me turn the machine on. Yeah, see, it's already not very pleasant. So so like I said, I'll try to include this and in the video here, and try to bring it back in when we're gonna weld it. Here we are, about to weld. I don't know if you can actually hear this or not, but here goes. Let's see what happens. Just tacked, and now, like I said, essentially I'm just going to come along here, put a weld, put a bead right along there. I'm going to leave it clamped. I don't like to release the clamps. They're not in my way, so I'm going to leave it clamped. It really does help to combat the distortion on these things. got it pretty much welded. Now I'm going to release the clamps. Take the angle out of there. And really, there was no movement. It's still nice and square, as you can see. Now, like I said, I'm going to try to just, on these edges here, just going to try to clean, to put a little filler in there. And then, like I said, the customer requested I put one little tack right in the middle of this thing. So I'm going to go ahead and try to do that. What I'm going to do is just try to clean this up a little with the wire brush here. Yeah, that's hot. Guess we'll have that after welding. Alright, so I'm just going to try to dab in here. Little filler, just to make corners so that you can actually sand this off if they want. Make those corners completely, square again. Actually, we're in pretty good shape there. It almost did fold over. Okay. Now, like I said, the customer requested that we put just a little tack in here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put a small tack right in the middle of that. That point. And we're going to let it go with that. The piece is pretty much finished. All right. Okay. That's going to be about it for this piece. We've pretty much, like I said, we've done pretty much what the customer wanted. Tack in the middle here, welded out here, and that pretty much will wrap it up. And it is now as per the print. So that's going to be it. Piece is essentially done. We've welded it here. We've welded it in here, just a tack as the customer requested. And pretty much, that's now our piece. Now, you can see that it will match what we have on the print here. This one, and this one. So, that's about it. Alright, simple little video. I hope this came out halfway decent, and I thank you for watching. See you next time, and bye.